joining us. We're going to give it just another quick minute before we get started. All right, let's get things kicked off. Hello and welcome, and thank you for joining us for our webinar today on how you can expand your career options into tax. You're all here today because you either have some experience in tax already or you're interested in getting your foot in the door. My name is Laura, and I'll be your moderator for today. So just a few housekeeping items before we get things started. Please note that the chat is disabled, but on the bottom of your screen, you will see a Q&A box that you can use. And this is for all your questions. So please feel free to add any questions that come up here. We'll be answering questions live in the Q&A box during the webinar today, and we'll make sure that we do our very best to get all of your questions answered. And then, of course, rest assured, if you miss anything, we will be following up the webinar with a recording after our session. And then lastly, you'll see a QR code with a link on our slide deck that you can use to apply for our individual tax rolls and our business tax rolls, given your experience in the tax industry. And if you have no tax experience, not to worry. We'll also discuss on our training options that are available for you to get the experience you need to become a TurboTax Live professional here at Intuit. Okay, so with that, we will begin. Here's our agenda for today. We're going to have a quick round of introductions, so you'll get to know our panelists and who you're hearing from. We will talk about Intuit, who we are as a company, as well as our mission. We'll talk about TurboTax Live and why this is a great career opportunity for you. You'll also get to hear from an actual real-life expert who made this transition from bookkeeping after 30 years of bookkeeping and small business management to a new career in tax. Our expert you'll be hearing from today is Amber, who will share her journey to becoming a tax expert here at Intuit and how she made that transition. Finally, you'll also be hearing from a TurboTax Live recruiter who will talk to you about our tax training and positions available within the U.S. Santiago is his name. So again, he's going to talk about all the qualifications and our Intuit Academy to help give you that experience. And then with any time left at the end, we'll be sure to do some live question and answer to ensure that you have all the information you need in order to get yourself set up for success as a future tax expert here at Intuit. All right, so let's learn a little bit more about who you'll be hearing from today. I'd like to bring our amazing team of TurboTax Live panelists onto our virtual stage here to introduce themselves. So please welcome Amber and Santiago. How are you both doing?
Great, thanks.
Doing great, thank you.
Wonderful. Why don't you each give us a quick introduction of yourself, including your role, how long you've been with us, and what you do here at Intuit, and then, of course, where you're calling in from today as well. Let's start with you, Santiago.
Thank you, Laura. Well, my name is Santiago Barrientos, and I'm calling in from the warm state of Texas. I joined this team 5 seasons ago as a bilingual recruiter, and I've had the opportunity to work on this team both as a recruiter and a lead, spearheading referral efforts and recruit for all things TurboTax, including all sorts of different roles like leads, managers, quality review, and select time. Pass it over to Amber.
Are you ready for me? My name is Amber Gieslin. I'm based in North Central Idaho. I've been with TurboTax for 5 seasons now, 4 years as a full service tax preparer, meaning that I actually complete returns for customers. And my last year as a lead, where I do research and assist and help the experts with their issues and questions. And I'm happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. Again, my name is Laura Lowell, and I'm a senior recruiter here. I've been at Intuit 7 years now, and I am located in Texas as well. I support our customer success role, as well as recruiting for our QuickBooks Live team. All right, we're going to move on and share a little bit about our history and how Intuit's journey started, which was actually over 35 years ago when our founder, Scott Cook, sat at his kitchen table and he watched his wife as she struggled to balance her checkbook. And he thought, there must be a better way to do this accounting. Intuit is the culmination of that small idea, the concept of making everyday finance easier, which has evolved into a global technology giant within the financial services industry. And today, Intuit continues to grow, embracing new technologies and finding new ways to serve and educate our customers. Those small business and self-employed, those are who our customers are. Now, many of you know Intuit by our 4 main products: TurboTax, QuickBooks, Credit Karma, and MailChimp. But we're still driven every day by that same core vision that founded this company. There must be a better way. Now, what is our North Star in terms of guiding our product and our teams? It's our mission, powering prosperity around the world. It is our core belief that everyone deserves the opportunity to prosper. We live this mission out daily through our actions on the job here at Intuit to ensure Intuit is dedicated to providing the tools, skills, and insights that empower people around the world to take control of their finances, have more money in their pockets, and be more prosperous in everything they do. And Intuit is uniquely positioned to help spark economic prosperity by creating jobs and supporting small businesses and entrepreneurs. But one of the most important resources we have to further our mission is not just the software that we have built, but it's our people, like our tax and bookkeeping experts here today. And that brings me to the product and service that you all are here to learn more about, TurboTax Live. This is by far our largest and most well-known brand out there. It also powers the most jobs out of all our products today. Okay, so why TurboTax Live? This is why we're asking you to be here today with us. TurboTax just continues to grow year after year. We recently expanded our tax offerings from individual or personal tax to offering business tax. So the need for TurboTax Live experts to join our team, both on the personal and business side, continues to rise. And you'll be pleased to know that unlike other jobs in the market today, our roles here have been stable and continue to be resilient to the economy. When it comes to individual taxes, TurboTax Live is America's #1 tax preparation provider, with over 50 million unique taxpayers filing returns each year. And this number only continues to increase. So again, our experts are becoming more and more in demand. Business tax has become a critical growth area for Intuit, and it's viewed as our next $1 billion revenue opportunity. In fact, the total addressable market for business tax in the United States is $10 billion. And there are 6 million small and medium-sized businesses in the US alone. So this is a huge market opportunity for us. Business tax has also filled a huge gap in our Intuit product offerings. Prior to business tax, customers would come to us for payroll, bookkeeping, and personal taxes. However, once they got their books ready, we'd send them out of network to get their partnership or S-Corp return completed. Now, for the first time ever, we have the connected QuickBooks with TurboTax platform for a seamless customer experience. So both are great job opportunities in today's market, especially as the tax market only continues to expand. All right, so what do you get if you come work for us at TurboTax Live? I'd now like to bring back our TurboTax Live recruiter to speak the benefits you'll receive if you join our team of TurboTax Live experts. Santiago, welcome back. Why don't you share our benefits?
Thank you, Laura. So first and foremost, you get to work remote from home or home office. So this is going to be a fully remote job. Now, as long as you're within the US, you can work where you like. Now, you will also be able to select a schedule that works best for you with our scheduling model. For scheduling, so during the tax season, we are going to offer work schedules on a first come, first served basis around our operating hours. Now, the normal operating hours are 5 a.m. through 5 p.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday. However, during the tax season, we have extended seasonal hours where we are open 7 days a week from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific time, which is going to be 8 a.m. Eastern to midnight Eastern. Now, this normally starts in mid-January and runs through April. Now, just keep in mind, you must be able to commit to a minimum schedule of at least 20 hours a week and minimum of 4-hour blocks throughout the tax season. Now, finally, it is a seasonal role. So if you already own your own accounting or bookkeeping business, you can keep your business and still come work for us as TurboTax Live just 4 months out of the year for some extra income. And no matter what role you're in, we offer some great benefits. Now, we offer a 401k savings plan and Intuit matching program. So for every dollar that you contribute, Intuit will actually contribute $1.25, and that's going to be up to 6%. Now, you're going to also be vested on day one. Now, and if you come back year after year, we continue to match over and over for you as you work through the seasons. Another benefit that we have is our employee stock purchase plan. Now, this will give you the opportunity to buy stock at employee prices. If you're interested in stock, take a look at how we're doing. This is a great benefit. And we also have our employee assistance program as well as paid sick leave. And you also get product discounts as well as a free copy of TurboTax Live. Now, all of these benefits are going to be available to you, even though it's just a seasonal 4 months out of the year job. Now, I will pass it back over to Laura for our first poll.
Thank you very much. Okay, so after hearing from Santiago, what interests you so far about becoming a tax professional at Intuit? Is it earning extra income, growing your industry knowledge and experience and expertise? Maybe it's choosing a schedule that suits you best. Or is it receiving those Intuit employee benefits? Maybe it's all of the above. Or let us know if you're not sure if this is the right opportunity for you. That's okay too. We want to hear from you. All right, get those responses in. All right, results are in. Look at that. 57% of you said all of the above. That is wonderful. A few not sure if this is the right opportunity, but that's why you're here today. So keep on listening. Okay, Santiago is going to turn it back over to talk about some of the positions that are available.
Thank you again, Laura. So let's talk more about those positions that are available. So let's start off to mentioning that we have jobs both on the individual and business tax side, which you can be considered for depending on your experience level in the industry. So we will first take a look at our individual tax roles. So let's talk about the tax specialist role and some of the qualifications that we have. So for this role, preparing federal and state individual 1040 tax returns, a P10 will also be required, and any special state requirements. Now, completing our own Intuit Academy training, which I will actually cover more in a little bit later on. But if you successfully earn your tax level 1 badge and complete the tax preparation program, you will receive a waiver for the 2-year paid tax experience requirement needed to apply for our tax specialist role. Now, taking and passing the tax level 1 and tax level 2 can also help you stand out for our tax associate and tax expert roles. Now, covering the tax associate role. So it's going to be 2 years of paid tax preparation experience, preparing federal and state individual 1040 returns, preparing a minimum of 30 tax returns per season. Now, a P10 will also be required for this role, as well as any special state requirements as well. Now, the only other difference between the tax expert role is that the tax expert also requires an active credential as a certified public accountant, CPA, enrolled agent or an EA, and or be a practicing attorney. Now, over to our business tax. Our business tax roles actually mirror the individual tax roles that you can see here on the screen. Now, we do have 2 open roles for business tax. So our business tax associate and our business tax expert role. Now, uh, once again, our tax associate role is actually going to require 3 or more years of recent experience preparing federal and state business tax returns for at least 20 clients, customers per season. So we're going to be focusing on 1065s or 1120Ss here. Now, a P10 is also going to be required. And something that is very, very helpful will be having 2 or more seasons of paid personal tax experience, although that's not necessarily a requirement for this role. Now, our business tax expert role does have the same requirements as a tax associate position, but once again, will also require an active credential either as a CPA, enrolled agent, or a practicing attorney. Now, lastly, for both of these roles, bookkeeping experience is going to be strongly preferred. And just like our individual tax positions, these are going to be 100% virtual customer-facing roles. Now, I do want to let you all know that we are currently hiring for our bookkeeping positions as well. So if you don't yet have that tax experience, but you are interested in our bookkeeping roles at Intuit, you can apply for that bookkeeping role. Now, in terms of specific requirements, there are 3 that will be considered for qualifying for this position. So we require a minimum of 1 year of prior experience working with QuickBooks Live. You must also have an active QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor certification and at least 1 year or more of bookkeeping and or accounting experience. Now, some big bonuses on top of the requirements for this role that are great to have, but not necessarily required, are going to be a bachelor's degree in accounting or finance and an active CPA or CPB. Okay, and back over to Laura for our second poll.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, Santiago's covered all the roles and requirements. So we're ready to hear from you again. If you are considering applying for one of our roles, we'd like to know, do you already have any personal or business tax experience? And if so, how much? Your options are: yes, I have 2+ years of paid tax experience preparing federal and state individual 1040 tax returns. Yes, I have 3+ years experience preparing federal and state business tax returns. That would be 1065 or 1120S. Maybe you have less than 2 years of tax experience in either the individual or business side, or no paid experience yet. All right, let's see what our audience. All right, here come the results. Okay, quite a few of you, over half, have no paid experience yet. And then a good amount with less than 2 years in either business or tax. Okay, well then the Intuit Academy is going to be an important opportunity for you. Help you get that experience. All right, next Santiago is going to talk about what you can do if you have no paid tax experience. So perfect.
What a perfect segue. So what if you don't have that experience necessary? So we actually have training specifically intended to help you get your foot in the door, especially for our tax specialist role on the personal tax side, as I mentioned earlier. So let me share with you a little bit about the Intuit Academy. So Intuit Academy is a free online platform. I would say it's your one-stop shop for all things related to learning, growing your tax career, and also beefing up your resume. It is going to be designed with a community-first approach where we offer free tax courses and exams. So we currently offer tax level 1, tax level 2, a tax preparation program, as well as a few other specialized courses such as cryptocurrencies and taxes. And you can take our courses and exams at your own pace and your own time. So apart from being free, what are the key incentives that Intuit Academy offers? Well, first of all, you don't need prior experience to take this course. As you know, in today's job market, maybe not having enough experience can be a tough hurdle to cross. Now, the Intuit Academy can serve as a great starting point for you to get comfortable with the tax industry in general, so that you can learn it at your own pace and take the exams on a schedule that works for you. Now, second, if you do have that prior tax experience, you're already at a huge advantage. Now, you can either take the course or skip the course and go straight to the exam to showcase your knowledge. Now, these courses can serve as a great refresher as well for those of you who already have that lots of tax experience. Now, either way, once you pass and take the tax level 1 badge and complete the tax preparation program, you will actually receive that waiver for the 2-year paid tax preparation experience required to apply for our tax specialist role. Now, this is going to be a great way to get tax preparation experience for those of you who don't have that yet. Now, just keep in mind, however, that we do have limited spots for this pathway. So we encourage you to sign up and get started today if you want that opportunity to get hired through the Intuit Academy with that no prior experience. Now, if you're interested, please do enroll and get started on your tax journey with us. Now, I'm going to pass it back over to Laura to introduce our guest speaker.
Fantastic. Okay, and we do have the link there in the chat as well for our roles as well as the Intuit Academy. Okay, so I would now like to welcome Amber back to the stage here so we can get some insights from her on her career journey with Intuit. Welcome back, Amber.
Thank you.
All right, just give us a quick refresher again on your role and where you're calling in from.
Hey, I live in North Central Idaho, and I am right now my position at TurboTax is I'm a lead, which means I offer assistance, research. I assist other experts who are helping the customer. And the 4 seasons before that, I was a tax expert who did full service tax returns, and I helped customers on the phone. So I'm in my 5th year now.
Okay, well, we're excited to chat with you. So I've got a few questions for you. We'd like to know, why did you transition from bookkeeping to tax? What kind of inspired you to make this change?
Well, I've been working in small business where I did all the bookkeeping, everything from accounts receivable, accounts payable, payroll, sales tax, bank reconciliations. I even produced the financial statements. I did everything but the taxes. And I was just kind of tired of it. I felt like I wasn't learning anything new. And it also, there wasn't a real sense of completion. You had closings quarterly, yearly, but there wasn't I felt like I never finished anything. And I had that sense of completion or satisfaction. And it was hard to take time off also too. There was no one to cover my positions. These were small companies. So I had to work really hard before, work really hard after. So I started looking for something else, and taxes caught my eye.
Great. Okay. Well, how were you able to go about gaining the tax experience needed to work for TurboTax Live if you didn't already have that experience? Kind of talk about that journey from bookkeeping to tax.
Sure. I actually went to a local franchise office that was offering classes, tax prep classes, the basic intro one to become a tax preparer. And it was a couple nights a week for a few months. And I did this while working full time. You know, I wanted to make sure I liked it and I was good at it and all that kind of stuff. But I did that, and I did get hired as a part-time preparer once I finished and passed the test and everything. And then I continued to do that for a couple seasons as basically a second job. And I worked for them. I worked for another tax preparer office, you know, just tried to learn. And the one lady I learned for, she told me she had worked at TurboTax, and she explained to me what being an EA, an enrolled agent, was. And so then I just kept on going down that path. I went and got my enrolled agent, and then I applied at TurboTax, and here I am.
Excellent. Okay. Why would you recommend other bookkeepers to start that transition to tax? Even if it's just taking a few courses initially, how does this help your career in the long run, your career growth?
Yes, there's a lot to learn. I wish I would have taken the intro class 30 years ago. It helped me tie everything together with bookkeeping, just pieces I just didn't have together because I was lacking the knowledge. So you'll benefit from the classes even if you don't keep going as a tax preparer. And even in your personal life, your personal taxes, you'll benefit. You know, you learn a lot of basic things. Let's see. So it will make you a better bookkeeper, I believe. Most definitely.
Absolutely. All right. What's been your favorite part about working for TurboTax Live so far?
My absolute favorite part is that we all help each other and teach each other and work together. I love being part of a team because there is so much to know, and as one person, it's so hard to know it all. And I really didn't like that working on my own, that I didn't have a couple people always like, hey, how do I do this? Or what's the right way to do this? And so we're in Zoom rooms a lot. We have support rooms, and, we have CPAs, we have lawyers, we have people with a ton of business experience. I love the team atmosphere, and we all work together. We're not competing with each other. I mean, we do have incentive contests and things, but we're doing the best we can to provide the best customer experience. That's the goal. And so we all help each other. That's my favorite part. Well, I also like the 401k.
And it's a nice
like
perk.
seasonal too. You get, months off. You can spend time with your kids and grandkids. It's nice to have a break. I didn't have that being a year-round bookkeeper. You never got a break. I like having a break.
Yeah. Those are great points you bring up. I like that you mentioned the team atmosphere, because that's a question we get often, right? Like, what if I don't have the answer, right? When I'm talking to a customer, but you kind of address that. We've got a lot of support. All right. Well, last question then. Any tips or advice for bookkeepers just looking to make this career change into tax?
I would take all the classes you can. If there's practice returns available, do them all. Those really help you understand how all the tax forms flow together, how everything's connected, how to put the puzzle together. And bookkeepers too. You'd be surprised how much business knowledge you have to go into the business section of TurboTax. That's really growing, and I think it's great. It's exciting to learn, S corps and partnerships, but I think a lot of bookkeepers would be surprised how much knowledge they do already have. But yeah, take all the classes, do the practice returns, and always, when you start work, always do your research. Things change. Tax code changes a lot. Everything changes a lot. Be willing to pivot.
Good point. All right. Well, thank you so much for the incredible conversation, Amber. It was really good to connect with you and just hear your story and your experience. If
You're so
anyone has any
welcome.
questions, apologize. Amber's happy to answer those, so drop them in the Q&A chat for her. Okay. So now you've got all the information. Let's talk about how you join our community of TurboTax Live professionals. I'm going to pass it back over to Santiago, who will walk you through what the recruitment process looks like.
Thank you, Laura, once again. So let's dive into how you join our team. a little bit of a step-by-step guide. Now, so once you've met our qualifications, you apply to the role that interests you, you will actually receive an Intuit candidate portal email, which will allow you to add more information about yourself and to follow along your hiring journey. Now, for example, you can upload your resume, any credentials that you might have, and you can actually also use the link inside of the portal to be connected with a recruiter who will be scheduling a time for a phone screen with you. Now, once you are connected with a recruiter, your recruiter will go through some basic screening questions to help confirm that you're qualified for the role, and if not, discuss some of those alternative roles if available. Now, your recruiter, they will also share information on the role, of course, Intuit itself, our paid training, competitive pay rates, which, by the way, take into consideration your skills and experience, but are also going to be regionally driven based on the state that you live and work in during the tax season. They will also let you know about our end of season performance bonus. Now, that's going to differ based on the role that you're hired for. And finally, they will go over hours of operation, technical requirements, and answer any questions that you might have before moving on to the next steps. Now, if you meet all the qualifications for the role that you've applied for and you're still interested in moving forward, your recruiter at that point in time will request a digital interview link, which will be sent to you from HireVue. That's going to be our digital interview team. Now, the interview process takes approximately 60 to 90 minutes and consists of a handful of video questions, as well as some short answer and multiple choice questions. They're all so be encouraged that you use resources that you're familiar with, as well as a few recommendations that you get from the team. Now, the best part is that you can complete your interview in the comfort of your own home or office when it's most convenient for you. Once you have submitted your digital interview, it will be evaluated by our hiring managers. And usually within a week or so, your recruiter will hopefully receive some successful results of that interview and reach out to you with a verbal offer. At this point in time, your recruiter will confirm your pay rate, end of season bonus potential, your season start and end dates, as well as a little bit of more information regarding our training program, and of course, any other tasks that are going to be needed to get your onboarding started. So I will pass it back over once again to Laura for our third poll.
All right. Thank you, Santiago. Last poll for today. We would like to know, will you apply to be a tax professional here at Intuit? Your options: yes, I will start my tax training on the Intuit Academy. I'm very excited for this future opportunity. Yes, I will apply for an individual tax role. I already have tax experience. Or yes, I will apply for a business tax role. Or I am more interested in the bookkeeping positions available and plan to apply to those. Or are you still unsure at this time? All right, let us know. Excited to see the results for this one. All right, bunch of you, 58% of you excited to start that Intuit Academy training. A few of you are more interested in the bookkeeping positions. That's okay. We are hiring for that as well. Okay. Well, thank you for engaging with us there. We're coming to the end here of our webinar. So if you have any last minute questions, please keep adding them to the chat. If you like what you heard, right, and you've got the right amount of experience, we would definitely like for you to apply and become a seasonal tax expert, either for the individual or business tax side. So please scan that QR code and apply today before you leave us. Now, if you don't have the necessary experience, but you like what you heard, remember you can enroll in the Intuit Academy training. And then we're also going to be adding a survey link to the chat. So we would really appreciate if you would take a moment to provide some feedback before you leave here today. We would love to hear from you and how we did and if we were able to answer all of your questions. I will go over a couple of frequently asked questions since we do have a little bit of time. I do want to mention, I think I've seen in the chat quite a few folks from Canada. That's outstanding. Unfortunately, our webinar today was more focused on roles here in the United States. So you must reside in one of our 50 United States. US territories are not included. Now, we do hire tax roles for Canada, and we will have some webinars that are more focused towards our Canadian audience this season as well. So stay tuned for those. We often get asked, is there a minimum requirement for hours worked? And that is a minimum of 20 hours a week for our tax roles, usually between 25 to 40 hours for our bookkeeping roles. So yes, there is a minimum 20 hours. Just a reminder, right, the tax rolls are seasonal. So the months are usually April or January through April that you'll be working. You don't have to have any of your own equipment. Intuit's going to send you everything. We ship you a laptop, a camera, a bunch more. All we ask is that you do have hardwired high-speed internet. All right, let's see. Questions in the chat here, if there's anything. I like that. Yes, you can absolutely apply for both tax and bookkeeping roles. Couple questions about pay. Hard to say which pays more, the bookkeeping or the tax. It's really going to be dependent on your individual experience, the certifications and credentials that you hold. Our pay is based on the state that you work or reside in. But remember, for our tax rolls, we do have an end of season performance bonus available as well. All right, I'm jumping back over here to the chat. Unfortunately, we do not have these sessions available in the Singapore area. You do have to be, again, located in the United States to perform this work. The bookkeeping roles, the question is, bookkeeping year-round? Yes, the bookkeeping roles are year-round positions. Okay, it looks like we've answered most of our questions. Really want to thank you so much again for your time and attending. We hope you learned a little bit, and we hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.